Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. I am out of breath already, but in today's episode, we are going to be discussing the good and the bad of social media. Because it is a very huge part of a lot of people, if not everyone's roles, or lives in these day and age, unfortunately. Social media originally was used to be as a tool, and it has become this sort of melting pot of positive and negative bullshit, along with fakeness. I think just to start off, at least in my opinion, one of the bad sides of social media is the false narrative or false advertisement that people do, thinking that it's just a highlight reel of everyone's lives and we all have amazing lives, when in reality we all have shit that we're dealing with. There are these kids that are growing up seeing all these people that they think are superstars or role models, whether they're influencers or artists, athletes. We're all people. We all go through bullshit. But on social media, they think, oh, if I can achieve this or if I can be this, that I'm going to be happy or I'm going to be the coolest thing in the world, when in reality, that's not the case. You could have all the fame and all the money and you're still going to be just as sad as some of the guy that's, in the $1,000, 900 square foot apartment.
So that's the end of today's episode. Cody pretty much covered everything.
No, not at all.
Literally just pretty much covered everything. Social media has become a giant talent show. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
If you really think about it. People who are trying to become an influencer. Everybody wants to be an influencer. I have nothing against it, but who are you really trying to influence at this point? There's just so many of you that can show the same video of you deadlifting. I mean, it's just,
taking shots at
take a shot at
the
everybody.
fitness community.
It's just the fitness community has been so washed
Yeah.
with the typical girl that woke up in the morning and because her parents blessed her with a booty and a skinny stomach, now she's on social media acting like she worked hard for it.
Well, not only that, but the amount in terms of fitness, right? Fitness influencers, the amount of people that lie about whether they had cosmetic surgery done. They'll be like, yo, buy my program and get this butt but it's like, in fact, they got a BBL, or hey, buy my bro split workout when in fact he's using steroids.
Right.
Yeah,
it's just been completely and utterly bombarded with lies and fake stories and fake people. It really has been. Social media was originally designed to help businesses promote themselves. It was a marketing tool, and it was also the ability to connect with your family. That's really what it was originally was created for. And obviously, things never stay the way that they were originally intended to. So social media has now just become a part of everyone's everyday life.
Yeah.
And am I against that? No, because if it wasn't for social media, we wouldn't be where we're at right now with the podcast.
Yeah. We probably also wouldn't have met.
Right. We also probably wouldn't have met. But with social media, not about really meeting people, but when it comes to where we are at now at Mic Time, we use social media the way it was intended to.
Yeah.
Right, which is promote and market.
Yeah.
Even though we're not selling anything, we have intentions of being able to do things like that.
Yeah.
My only, how can I say is the word I'm looking for? My only issue, right.
Gripe.
Gripe.
Like
yeah.
gripe with it.
My only gripe with social media is how much people consume it throughout the day.
The amount of time that you're
The
on the
amount
screen.
of screen time
Yeah.
that is on the phone is we've done an episode before where we talked about how valuable time is.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're spending most of your time on social media, that is time that you'll never get back.
Nah.
You know, you waste so much time scrolling, and then you start to develop what all these young kids are developing now, which is a 7-second attention span.
Yeah, that quick that TikTok
Yeah,
time.
the TikTok time.
Just
Yeah.
swipe,
That
swipe.
triple T's, TikTok time.
TikTok time.
You know,
About to-
that's a good one. The TikTok time. And it originally started with the Reels, but
Yep.
the Reels, if you look at TikTok versus Instagram Reels, I mean, they're pretty much very the same, depending on what your algorithm is going to pop up.
Yeah.
Right. I stay off of TikTok because, yeah, the Instagram Reels are easier for me to get away from for some reason.
I mean, you can click another page and it could be, someone's profile showing photos. It could be the explore page where you have a mixture of video and photo.
Yeah.
Where TikTok, it is completely just video, and that's
Right.
all it is.
Right.
And before TikTok was Vine, which was 3 seconds, if I remember correctly, or even something around where it was like even shorter.
Yeah. I don't even remember Vine. I don't think I ever looked into Vine.
I never had it, but that was like the precursor to TikTok, where there was a lot of influencers that became big through that,
Yeah.
and then moved over to TikTok, I think, because Vine got shut down or something.
Right, right. And if you were old enough to remember how Instagram started, it was just pictures. You were just posting pictures. There was no stories. There was no reels. There was no videos.
Yeah.
It was just a picture and a caption.
Yep.
That's all it was. And then they started to do 15-second videos. Mm-hmm. You were allowed to upload a 15-second video.
But it wasn't even a reel. It was just,
a
it was
video.
the same thing where your video would be, or your photos would be, and it would
the
just be
same size picture
Yep.
and the same size
Yep.
video. And then after they did the 15-second video, then they allowed a 30-second video. Then after the 30-second video, it was a 60-second video. Mm-hmm. And then it went up to
3 minutes.
I think it went to 130.
Okay.
A minute and 30 seconds.
Okay.
And then after a minute 30 seconds, that's when they started with the reels.
Yeah.
And if you were going to do a 3-minute video, it ended up being a 3-minute reel.
Got you.
So, or if you wanted to do a 3-minute reel, it converted it into a 3-minute video. So social media to me has just become part of everyone's everyday life, and there's nothing really wrong with that as long as you know how to control your screen time.
Yeah. Just, I don't know if regulate is the right word, but
Right.
it's definitely trying to limit the amount. Like I've tried to do this where when I wake up, try not immediately to go on social media. Because I feel like I've spoken with some people, and you hear stories, and it's like everyone wakes up, the alarm goes off, boom, social media. I try my best to completely eliminate that. Obviously, I got to turn off my alarm, which is on my phone.
Yeah.
But immediately I try to just go to the gym, and then I won't look at social media until later on in the day, around like when I post or something, when we post around like 9 a.m. or something.
Right.
So it's been at least 2 to 4 hours possibly before I've gone actually onto social media.
Yeah, I agree with you. I become that way.
Yeah, because you're immediately having, we've talked about this in previous episodes, and it's not just news outlets, but in social media, there's a lot of negativity that you'll see. Mm-hmm. So if you're waking up and the first thing you see is negativity, you're not starting the day off good, because you already have this mindset of something that's sad or bad happening.
It's not the mindset; it's the hormonal imbalance you start to develop. I think that's what it is more so. Where again, there was research on the dopamine levels and epinephrine, right, and all that stuff. And when you apply social media first thing when you wake up in the morning, you set off your central nervous system higher than it should be. You're instantly more aware and guarded, right, than you would be if you just woke up, got out. Like you're more on edge, they said.
Yeah.
And things will bother you quicker throughout the day.
So you become agitated quicker.
Yeah. It will come up quicker throughout the day than it would have been if you didn't go on social media in the morning.
That's fascinating.
what I've learned, it's funny because first thing I used to do, my alarm clock went off, I'd swipe it, and then I go right back to like scrolling.
Yeah.
Right. Recently, I want to say within the past 6 months, I don't do that anymore.
Yeah. Good.
I don't.
Yeah.
And I didn't. It's not because I chose to not do it.
You just out of nowhere just
out of
started
nowhere
doing
it
that.
just stopped.
Yeah.
Which
How do you find yourself having better mornings than in the past? Or I guess maybe just chain reaction effect that your day ends up being a little bit better,
I think what I ended up doing was it's weird. What I ended up doing was I'd wake up in the morning, alarm would go off, I'd go in the shower, and then I'd put on YouTube and just watch it while I'm in the shower.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not scrolling YouTube shorts.
Yeah.
I'm just watching a YouTube video. And then I would either listen. Oh, that's how it started. Now I remember how it started. So I was waking up in the morning, and this is back when I was alone, right? I wasn't seeing her. And I woke up in the morning, and I put on like Jordan Peterson.
Okay.
One day I found Jordan Peterson on YouTube, and then I started to binge listen to everything that he does. And I stopped. That got me to stop scrolling on social media in the morning, because the first thing I would do now is alarm clock off, search a Jordan Peterson video and just listen to it.
Okay.
Because I was studying the psychology at that time too. And that got me to stop going on YouTube.
Yeah.
I mean,
or just
scrolling.
Instagram or
Right. And I stay away from the TikTok, and Cody told me the other day, he's like, bro, can you help me with the TikTok comments? And in the beginning, when we first started, I was the one really taking control over the TikTok. I was kind of responding to everybody, liking everything. And then I got really, really busy, and he picked up the slack. So, thank you for that. And I'm still super busy with trying to move and things like that. So I stay away from the TikTok now, mainly because as soon as I open TikTok on my phone, then my phone blows up with TikTok for an hour or two, and it doesn't stop. And my phone just keeps going off, which I love the fact that we get that much play on TikTok. But I don't want to open it up and start, scrolling it. Sometimes my girl will send me a video from TikTok.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man, I gotta like open it. But I'm curious to see what she's gonna send me, right? So I'll open it, and then it'll be something. She usually sends me something really funny or informative, which is great. And then as soon as I'm done watching the video, I exit out.
Yeah.
Like I won't go on.
That way you don't get stuck scrolling.
I don't want to get stuck scrolling.
Yeah.
I just don't want to go. For me, it's like there's so much more productive things that I could do.
Of course.
Especially because of owning the business and working and moving and the podcast and all this. So I have nothing against anybody who wakes up in the morning and wants to start scrolling.
No,
I mean, if that's what you can do, then if your life is, I want to say simple, but if your life is not too hectic and you have time to spare that you can scroll in the morning, like if you wake up, 1 or 2 hours early, then cool. I have nothing wrong with that. I don't give a shit. You know? But I'm always on the go, and my mind is always thinking about what I need to do next. So I never get that opportunity to sit down and say, let me look or open my phone and instantly turn it on.
Yeah.
Because I've broke that habit.
Yeah.
But before I used to be that way. If I woke up at 6 a.m, I knew I had to be at the gym at 7:30. I'd be on my phone for 10 minutes.
Wow. That's, for the most part, I would say I've been pretty good at it. Like, don't get me wrong, there's times where I'll catch myself, but it's mainly, say I post a video on one of the 3 pages, right? Waiting for it to upload. And once it uploads, it pops up on like the page, and then I watch it, and then like it just goes to the next one. I'm like, and then I watch it, and I'm like, oh, and then I realize, oh, I'm about to get stuck in this.
Right.
Close the app. Video's uploaded. Close the app.
Yeah. It's like you literally feel everything enclosing into that phone.
Yeah. It's wild. And you really can get sucked into it. Like there's. I remember seeing my sisters, and I'm just like listening in the background. It's just like new video, and this is like I come back 30 minutes later, still going new, and I'm like, what? I'm like, you've been literally just scrolling on this shit for 30 minutes.
Right.
And just that's just 30 minutes gone.
Yeah.
You know,
30
where
minutes
it's like
you'll
you
never
could
get
have
back.
done so many other things. You probably could have gotten part of your homework done. You could have done your chores or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Where-
30 minutes you'll never get back.
Yeah. And, you know, I think that's you and I are very much on the same, you know, sort of like how we go about life is, you know, I wake up in the morning, I immediately go to the gym. Like, I'm not looking to be on my phone. I'm not one of those people that likes to be on the phone at the gym. Like, I'm there to get shit done.
Yeah.
And then get out.
Yeah.
You know, come home, shower, go to work, and I start working, you know. Like maybe on my lunch break if I'm replying to something for our pages, but for the most part, I try my best not to be just in that stuff. And along with, you know, the stuff that I do have come up on is at least not like shitty, like stupid shit.
Yeah.
You know, in terms of like just I try to always over like the stuff that I want to see.
You're trying to
you know,
change
I'm
the
trying to
algorithm.
change the
Right.
algorithm to where I only get things because it's funny how I'll like say a bunch of cars and then you'll still get random bullshit that I just like, why is this popping up on my feed?
Yeah.
You know?
You can literally change your entire algorithm
Yeah.
by searching things you like and then just start liking them.
Yeah, just spam,
Search and like,
just
search and like,
spam
search and
those
like, and you can
whatever.
change your entire algorithm.
And you could probably do it within a couple like minutes.
Yeah, within a few minutes, you can change
know?
your entire algorithm.
Like you said, search, say you want to search up cars, boom, search up anime, boom. And
Yeah.
then like just start liking those things and any other stuff that you don't want in there,
Will start to literally dissipate.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I think my whole phone, my whole Instagram and screen usage, I know there's a way to check it. I
know
think
I can on mine.
I think you go to apps. Let's see here. You have an iPhone, right?
It's literally screen time for me.
Right, but is it screen time or is it in the apps to see how much you
So for me, I'm just in my settings and I just there's an actual like widget for screen time and it'll show me what I've used and everything.
screen time for what you've used it on.
Like, but it tells me screen time in general and then it tells me other stuff.
Okay.
And then I also can control app like limits, which is pretty cool. Like you can like limit your app.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know how to look at. Okay, here we go. So, on an Android, if you just click on in settings and then you click screen time, it'll show you that, right? So
Yeah.
it says the entire day today, social was
Okay.
2 hours and 50 minutes,
Okay.
which doesn't make sense because Instagram's 48 minutes. I've used Instagram today for 48 minutes. And
I have for
haven't-
an hour and 37.
Yeah, I don't have anything else, but it says most used apps, messages, an hour and 5 minutes.
Okay.
Instagram, 48 minutes. And then my maps, my Google Maps was 26 minutes.
Got you.
And that's because I was going around a few places today.
Yeah.
So that's why, because it considers maps part of social.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's weird. But yeah, that's weird that it does that.
What's interesting for me is music gets added to screen time, even though when I have my music on, I'm not listening to music.
Right.
And that's almost 4 hours of my screen time. It's literally half of my screen time.
Huh.
So like total today I have 7 hours,
Gotcha.
but 4 of it is music, is Apple.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm really only on like 3 hours where I have Instagram for an hour and 37 minutes. I have messengers for like another hour. And then
Right.
it's like Safari and TikTok and like my work app that I have and Gmail.
Right. So like Monday, June 3rd, Instagram, 34 minutes total for the whole day.
Nice.
June 4th, 25. June 5th, 17 minutes.
Yeah.
June 6th, 36 minutes. June 7th, 30 minutes. Saturday was 1 hour. Sunday was 42 minutes. Monday, 21 minutes. And today, 48 minutes. So I'm pretty much under an hour
Yeah.
of social media now a day.
I'm right on, I would say, between an hour to 2 between all 3 apps.
Yeah, and it's crazy. And also, the other thing too is, excuse me, guys, if I keep fixing this microphone. The other thing too is, since I've been with my girl a lot more lately, I never even I don't even need to open my phone.
Yeah.
I really don't. I mean, if
Yeah.
a client or you, like if you text me or a client texts me or a friend texts me, I'll answer it.
Yeah.
But I'm never really on my phone.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the time we're driving somewhere or we're watching a movie.
Yeah. So you're not going to be on it.
I'm never really on it.
Yeah.
And she's the same way. She's never really on her phone
Yeah.
unless someone's texting her, because she has group chats. Everybody's got group chats now.
Yeah.
But she's really the only person I hear from the most. So when she's with me, my phone's really down. It's like, if someone hits me up, cool.
No, I feel you on that.
But anyways, when it comes back to the social media aspect of things, yeah, my social media has definitely dropped. My social media usage dropped a lot. Am I going to delete social media or would I delete social media? Nah, not really. I don't feel like there's that much of a point in it.
Yeah.
If I was overly obsessed with it, then maybe you should for a little while and then gradually come back to it.
100%. 100%. I think, what do we got? We got 6 minutes. I think one of the really good things, and you've already mentioned it, for social media is the marketing. And obviously that is why we do this. That is why I do my side job of photography and videography. That's my main source of being able to reach out and, show my portfolio in a sense, because that's for a lot of videographers and photographers, they use their Instagram. I do have my own website, but I mainly use Instagram, and that's how I reach out to companies or they reach out to me. So I definitely feel like it's a great tool, but you just have to be careful. You really have to be careful with social media. As long as you use it the right way, it can be for good, but there's a lot of negative bullshit that you can have when you're dealing with it.
Yeah, networking is social media is one of the best things to use networking.
Perfect.
Or should I say, if you want to network, social media is the best tool to have.
Yeah.
Is using Instagram, I don't know so much TikTok, but I know using Instagram because their messaging is a lot easier than TikTok.
Yeah, with TikTok, I think you have to follow each other.
The messaging is weird with TikTok.
Yeah.
I haven't quite figured that out yet. But when it comes to like my anatomy mechanic page, I did a lot of reels to promote the business.
Yeah.
And I want to say because of my Instagram, having it for 3 years, 4 years, the anatomy mechanic and doing all these reels, I maybe got 2-3 people from that. Really.
Yeah.
If you think about it, not much. Now, have I gotten people that have checked my Instagram first?
Yeah.
But then call me afterwards? Yeah, that
like
probably
had that as a referral.
Yeah,
almost.
exactly. That has worked. And also my social media has helped me get the new jobs that I've gotten.
Yeah. They can see what your knowledge and capabilities are and so on.
Yeah.
The
same thing with the Prime Driven.
Yeah. Yeah.
know?
That showcases, sort of like a brand ambassador almost for that program. No, it's it is though, you kind of touched on it, how you don't feel like you're addicted, right? But if you have and someone can be addicted to anything. It doesn't matter what it is. And there is, social media addiction where you will be glued to your phone and you can't move away from it, And I think that's one of those things where if you're going through that, you need to have a deep cleanse of deleting social media apps and maybe going for a couple hikes outside in nature.
Yeah, get back outside like we used to do back when we were younger.
Yeah.
Go outside and just do stuff. The other biggest thing that I've noticed with social media is the people that are too focused on the opinion of what people see on their social media. Understand? So meaning you display yourself as this type of person on your social media.
Yeah.
Because you need to either feel some validation or you don't want to be judged for what real life actually is.
Well, that's that, fallacy and fakeness that we sort of talked about before. Where
I don't know if it's fakeness, but more of insecurity somewhere deep within yourself.
It's a facade that you're putting up thinking that your world is all perfect, sunshine and rainbows, when in reality, everyone's going through stuff and you shouldn't be afraid to, bring that up.
Right.
Like,
we do the same thing.
oh, of
Right?
course.
I mean, I'm not gonna put a video of me depressed. Like I'm not gonna put a video. And I feel like when I see people who do put videos of themselves crying hysterical or are depressed, and I sit down and say, all right, one, that's a cry out for help, and two, how can you sit down and video yourself crying?
I'm not gonna disagree, but just to be the devil's advocate,
Right.
maybe for them that is a therapeutic way to deal with what they're going through. Like they don't have anyone to talk to, so they're gonna maybe record themselves, and then just being able to let it out, that made them feel better. Now, as for the posting part, maybe that's the sort of thing where we're looking to tell people and talk to people and give them advice through anything that they're going with. Maybe they're thinking, oh, this felt really good to let out. Maybe someone else is going through the same shit,
Right.
and they'll feel that they're not alone.
I mean, I guess, but I feel like the majority of people that do that, just one is a cry out for help, or two is the seeking of attention.
It's very possible. And I wouldn't be surprised if, most of the time that's the case.
Yeah, I can't be one to sit down and I don't want to put my problems on social media. I don't want to fish for compliments. Yeah, I don't. I mean, if you look at my social media, yeah, it's a bunch of pictures and selfies or whatever, maybe a couple of videos.
Yeah.
And I post it just to be relevant, I guess, to keep things going.
Yeah.
But I mean, the last time I posted was March. We're already in June.
Yeah.
My car page was, I just don't, I guess, I don't know. I guess I've gotten older and I just don't care for it much. The only people that I really care about what think about me is my girl, my mom, and my close friends. I mean, that's the only thing that I really care about when it comes to what people are going to think about me.
Yeah. I think I've also noticed, say, people aren't as active on just posting, but they'll post on their stories.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I'll post on my story. I have no problem posting on my story.
Yeah, but that's still, in a sense, posting.
Right. But it doesn't stick. Like, I'm not going to take a shitty picture of myself and post it either. Like, I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got a badass reputation I got to live up to. No, I'm just kidding. But, yeah, I mean, realistically, we do things because we want to.
Yeah.
We all have our own reason for doing it. But if somebody told me delete Instagram, I'd probably be, all right, fuck it, whatever. I'm not on it that much to care.
Yeah. I think I always talk about this with a group, I think a year ago or so. And if it wasn't for my career, I don't think I would be as into social media. Just because for the most part, it has surrounded that, whether it was in the corporate world and I was building their social media pages for them to then sell and promote products, or it was my own social media page, mainly the car one I'm talking about, to sell and promote my services as a photographer.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's what you used it for.
But it's like, for my like personal / car one, right? Evo Cody probably wouldn't have that, or if anything, it would just be cars for the most part.
Yeah.
But in this day and age, we can say that we don't post for attention, but I think everyone in the world at the end of the day is posting and enjoying and having dopamine hits from those likes that you get from posting. No matter what, everyone, whether it's a photo of nature, whether it's a photo of themselves, a photo of them and their girlfriend, a photo of their car, you are wanting to share a part of your life, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No,
I'm just, I think that it's just in moderation, along with not getting addicted to it.
Yeah. Like I said, using social media for entertainment purposes, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
We're talking about if your screen time, not screen time, we're talking more about the people that spend hours and hours and hours. Where I've seen people at work just scrolling away,
and they're not being productive at all.
No production at all. Like if you're working And you have a job to do, and every 2 minutes, 3 minutes, you're constantly looking at social media.
Yeah.
Bro, do your job.
Yeah, that's
You
an
know
issue.
what I mean? If you're pulling your phone out of your pocket and you're trying to sneak through, I've seen that too.
No, yeah, it's so true.
And to me, it's like you're not missing anything. Really,
Yeah,
you're not.
yeah,
You're really not missing anything.
You can open it up when you get home and you're laying in bed
and
towards the end of
everything
the
will
night.
pop right back up. You know, it's just like, you're not missing anything. And that's why, my girl, for instance, and not to keep bringing her up, but that's why I like her Instagram. She posts maybe once every few months.
Yeah.
She'll go on TikTok, a couple times throughout the day and check stuff. But she'll send me, like, for instance, a bunch of shark situations going on in Florida. And I'm like, oh, that's great. I'm fucking moving down and I can't go in the water.
You chose it.
Right. But she's sending me informative stuff.
Yeah.
And that's the good thing. If you're using Instagram or TikTok as your news.
No, yeah.
And to find out information, cool.
Yeah.
But because we all know news is fucking full of shit nowadays, right?
Yeah.
But if you're using it to hear someone talk shit about somebody else or that negative aspect of social media, then
move on.
You gotta like move on from that shit.
No, I found myself in a really interesting part, maybe 3 years ago, I think it was. At least it feels like it. It might be more, could be less also. 2 to 4, we'll say. Where Instagram changed their algorithm like majorly, and my numbers completely dropped in terms of like my engagements that I was getting, whether that was likes, comments, shares, whatever.
Right.
And a negative part that I let it affect me that I shouldn't have, was seeing that number say drop from 500 to 700 likes per photo to getting only 200 made me feel like I was not a good photographer. I allowed the number to make me feel like I wasn't actually good at what I do. And I think that it took a while. It took a couple months for me to really step back and realize it doesn't matter how many followers, how many likes.
Right.
That has nothing and no control over the quality of a photographer, videographer, postural restoration therapist you are. It comes down to actual work.
How much work you put in.
And because there are people who I know that have more followers and get more likes that are worse than me. And I know people who have less followers than I have that get less likes that are better than me.
Right. Right.
So it was one of those things that I really had to like take a step back and realize you can't let that number get into your head and control you, and use that number as a worth value.
Right. Yeah. It's pretty crazy that social media has become the way it has become. My personal opinion, do you have a Cody's quotes?
Yeah, I do.
Oh.
Yeah.
So before I give you the personal opinion, let's do the Cody's quotes.
But this one's a little bit longer.
Oh, cool.
Just a heads up.
Right.
Since you think all of them were long, but then now I'm throwing you short ones. This one is a little bit longer.
It's fine, man. All right, you ready?
Yep.
1, 2.
Ding, ding.
Dun, dun, dun.
Hey.
It's Cody's quotes.
It's Cody's quotes.
It's on a note.
It's on a note. And code it.
There we go.
Let's go.
Now I
just need you to be the conductor.
Yeah, I'm the conductor.
You just got to be the conductor, There you go. Yeah, we'll cut
Sorry.
that. Okay. All right. So here we go. Social media is training us to compare our lives instead of appreciating everything we are. No wonder why everyone is always depressed.
Yeah, I agree with that. In layman's terms is we go through social media and we see someone and we say, I want to be like that person. Why can't I have that? Why can't I do that? And there's two things that come from that. You could sit down and say, well, why is this guy drive a Lamborghini? I want to drive a Lamborghini, right? Why is this guy making that much money living in that house? I want to do that. And then you use that as motivation.
Yeah.
Or you look at it and says, why is this guy driving that Lamborghini and I'm driving a Toyota Corolla? No offense against the Toyota Corolla, but just saying as an example between the two. And then you sit down and say, well, I'll never get to that point. Maybe I'm not good enough. Once you turn someone else's life into your negative appearance of yourself, then social media is not for you. You're just going to stay down this rabbit hole of depression.
Yeah.
When you start to compare yourself to someone else's life, and even though, again, it's a huge talent show, we're all showing the good side of us.
Yep.
We don't really show the bad side of us.
Nope.
You know, and the worst thing was, I'll tell you a quick story. You tell me what you think about it.
Before you go, I just want to give credit. That was Bill Murray.
Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Okay. So I remember a buddy of mine, his girlfriend was trying to set me up with a friend of hers. Right? And I'll never forget this. This happened about, I don't know, maybe early summer of last year.
Okay.
And I sent her a picture of me. She sent me a picture of her, and it was cool. I was like, oh, yeah, we both thought each other were attractive. And then she said, does he have an Instagram? And my fitness page, I didn't really use it at that time.
Yeah.
I only had the anatomy mechanic page or the glaze page, the car page.
Yeah.
So she only knew about the car page. So she sent her my car page. And then the girl immediately got this preconceived notion of the type of person that I am.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like he's just into cars. He must be all about his cars. He must like not amount to anything. Wow. And then she was like, no, he owns a business and it's not just about cars. I mean, cars are just part of his life.
Yeah.
And she said, yeah, I don't want to date somebody that's all about cars and that's it. So I was like, wait a minute. You don't even know me.
Yeah.
You don't even know what you just gave up.
Yeah.
Because I'm a good fucking dude.
Well, not only that, it's just the fact that someone is going to have that assumption before even getting to have a conversation with someone.
Right?
Or even hear more about the person.
Bro, it was crazy. And then I was just like, you know what? Fuck that. Fuck that. Anybody who has me is fucking lucky.
Yeah,
you know, and that's 100%. How I
100%.
seen it. And I still see it to this day. Anybody who has me is lucky. And I will never allow myself to look at somebody on social media and say, I want to be like that person. I'm pretty happy with the person I am. I'm pretty confident with the person I am. Will I use certain aspects of social media to maybe influence me to do more? Yeah.
Yeah.
That you know, when I like now I'm looking at how these houses are and the cost of these houses and these big kitchens and stuff. I'll look at that and that drives me to want to get something like that.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to look at Joe Schmo benching, 325 and say, I want to do that. Like I have more better shit to do than watch you and 100 million other people do the same bench press.
Yeah.
Like I just don't.
Yeah.
I just don't care. I'll post a story, you know what I'm saying? To the people that I have 500 followers, I'll post a story and I'll get 28 people to look at it.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that actually give a shit.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't really care. I don't, I see who looks at it, but do I really give a shit? Not really. Yeah. I'm just posting it just so people know I'm still alive. It's like, hey,
I'm here.
You know?
I feel you.
You want to close it out?
Yeah. I think takeaway is try your best to limit the amount of screen time that you have on these social media apps. Don't let what other people post make you feel any less of a person, and just continue to be yourself. Don't allow social media for you to change who you are to then try and impress other people. I think that is one of the worst things that can happen, is if you try to change who you are to impress other people and think that that's going to get you somewhere, where honestly, if you are yourself, I think you'll have a better chance at, connecting with people.
Yeah. And if you're trying to get off of social media, cut down the screen time. That's it. Just cut down screen time. Open it up, search mic time, see what we got, and then turn it off after that. That's all you need to do.
What he said.
Just mic time only. Yeah. Anyways, so this is mic time. Please like, comment, subscribe if you haven't. Click on one of the videos that are over here if you haven't watched it yet. Stay positive, stay humble. Leave a comment letting us know how long is your phone saying you're on screen time for. I'm curious.
Let us know down below.
Yeah. Stay
Catch y'all
positive,
later.
stay humble. We only have good days. Peace.